Let's talk Tanya for the 8th of Tishrei. In the last few days, we've explained the system of creation, how it works, how something emerges from nothing, or at least something that perceives itself to be something emerges from God. And we explained how it's the infinite light of God that merges with and unites with the attributes of the world of Atzilus that gives birth to creation. But if you recall, when we started this chapter, we explained that the purpose of this chapter is to explain the value and the greatness, the preciousness of the lowest level. And within every given level, the lowest dimension of that level, the greatness of it. So here also, the whole purpose of this endeavor was to talk about and eventually get to the greatness of the lowest of the attributes, which is Malchus, royalty. Because actually, although all of the attributes, they definitely play a role in creation, but ultimately, actually, creation comes from the sphera, the attribute of Malchus, of royalty. And the Alter Rebbe over here is going to give two reasons why that is. The first reason is because, this is something that we've explored earlier on in Tanya and Shar Yichud V'Amunah, there's a concept of Ein Melech B'lei Am, which means you can't be a king unless you have subjects. You could be a wise person, even if there's no one else around. You could be a disciplined person. You can be a beautiful person. There are many different attributes that we can have which don't require another. But you can't be a king. You can be the greatest person. You can have the most amazing leadership skills in the world, but you're not a king unless you have actually subjects who accept you as their king. So the reason why we exist is because God wanted to be the king, is because of this attribute of royalty, which required the creation not only of something, but a creation of something which is other than God. As the example that's brought down in other places in Chassidus, you can't be a king over your own children. Trust me, I know this from experience. You can't also be a king over even loyal ministers. In order to be a king, you have to have subjects who are what we call nifradim. They're separate from you. They identify differently than you do, and over them you could be a king. Now, in the human sphere, so you have a person who wants to be a king, he finds such subjects. But when God wanted to create the world, there didn't exist anything other than him. So there had to be this Bria Yesh Mi'ayin, creating something from nothing, something which feels itself to be independent of God in order for God to be the king over it. So therefore, creation is through the attribute of royalty. It is the attribute of royalty which demands that we have creation of something from nothing. That's number one. Number two, also something that we spoke about in Shar Yichud V'Amunah, the attribute of royalty is associated with speech, with God's speech, and specifically the Asara Mamares, the 10 utterances with which the world was created. And the reason for that is because the multitude that exists in creation, the incredible variety of creations, that is a result of the speech of God, the 10 utterances, which, as we explained many times, the different words, and how the different figurations of these words and these letters create the infinite amount of creations that exist. So again, in order to have the multiplicity within creation, also, that's what comes from Malchus. So although definitely the energies of all of the attributes are within creation, but actual creation comes through Malchus, through royalty, which is the lowest of the attributes, which is incredible because we know that the ability to create something from nothing, as we've explained at length over the last days, is from the infinite light of God. So where is the infinite light of God most present in the world of Atzilus, in the lowest element of the world of Atzilus, in Malchus and royalty? Which is why the Sefer Yetzirah says, no, it's Tchilasan B'Seifan, the beginning is wedged in the end. The beginning, the highest level, the infinite light of God, is wedged in the lowest level, in the attribute of Malchus. And by the way, the highest level, the infinite light of God, is known as Keser, the crown of God. Keser Malchus. Malchus royalty is associated with the crown, and that is because of this intimate connection between Malchus, the lowest level, and the Ein Sof, the infinite light of God, which is the highest level, because it is in Malchus where the infinite light of God is revealed in order to create something from nothing. With this understanding, we'll be able to resolve a seeming contradiction or paradox in Kabbalah regarding Torah and mitzvahs, which one is higher, and we will discuss that, God willing, in tomorrow's Let's Talk Tanya.